Hi, everyone. I'm Amit Vaswani. I'm a field engineering leader at Databricks. I've been at Databricks for about 5 years. Like today's session is going to be a very practical session. And we are happy to partner with Dataplatr to talk about AI-powered financial analytics. So before we get into the solution, I just want to talk about why we are here. So I see the statistic coming up over and over again in our conversations with CFOs and controllers. 75% of a finance team's time is spent gathering and reconciling data, right? Which obviously really means that only 25% of the time is spent analyzing it. And if you sit back and think about what does that mean for an organization, right? It means that data that's trapped across ERPs, billing systems, spreadsheets, they don't talk to each other. Reporting cycles take weeks. Decisions are based on stale numbers. Manual reconciliation is slow, which is a compliance risk, right? Every manual touch point is room for error, right? And I think the big one is for organizations that want to adopt AI for finance. They find that they cannot because the data is not governed or unified in a way that AI can safely use, right? I mean, AI is everywhere, but there's no point if it's not well governed. So this is the problem we set out to solve. How do we solve the problem? Right? And this is why we have the Databricks data intelligence platform. And really, there's a lot on the slide, but I just want to walk you through some 4 key pillars of the platform, right? The first biggest pillar is what we call the Lakehouse architecture, which is the foundation, right? And the idea behind the Lakehouse architecture is that instead of having a separate data warehouses for reporting and then data lakes for raw data, you get one unified platform. Right? You think of your Oracle data, NetSuite data, billing system data, your spreadsheet, all of it landing in one place in open format with full history, no silos between finance systems. The second aspect of it is the governance layer, what Databricks calls Unity Catalog. Right? For regulated industries like finance, this is the single most important layer. Here is where you can start setting up things like row-level security so that your accounts payable team can only see the data that they can see, masking of data to hide out sensitive fields and compliant reasons, full audit trails, complete lineage, again for compliance reasons. When your auditors come calling, you should have the answers. The third layer is the analytics layer, or what we call the compute, the SQL layer. That gives you the best-in-class price performance for analytical workloads, right? And that's based on serverless compute, fast startup times, reports run fast. You're not paying for idle infrastructure. The fourth pillar is bringing in the AI aspect of it. Without copying the data and fully governed, it's where it gets exciting, right? It's the foundation for everything. That's where you can deploy your agents of one common view with semantics and everything. Dataplatr is going to show you all the details. So if I spend a moment on how AI changes the game for finance teams, right, this is because that's a theme for today's session. One is a conversational analytics engine, what we call a Genie, right? Without having to write any code or deploy any agent, right? Like think of a CFO who wants to know what's our accounts payable aging by vendor for the last quarter. Instead of filing a ticket, going to the BI team, waiting 3 days for a dashboard, and then they can just go in, point to the data, ask the question in plain English. The conversion from English to SQL happens under the cover by Genie. That runs against curated data, governed data. The answer comes back in seconds. It's going to respect all of our security policies. The CFO can only see what they are authorized to see. Other groups can see what they are authorized to see. And then the AI agents, Mosaic AI agents, as we call it, take it further. These are intelligent agents that can understand financial semantics, transformation logic, validate data quality, and even self-heal errors. But the key part is that for finance, it's human in the loop. The idea being that the AI is going to propose, right? You can go through that approval process. Nothing gets deployed without explicit sign-off. That's the governance model that finance is demanding. And then there is a Databricks marketplace, which is our ecosystem of pre-built solutions from trusted partners, and that's where Dataplatr comes. Clearly, Dataplatr is one of our valued partners. They bring deep domain expertise in financial analytics. The 3 things that they built on Databricks that are directly relevant to today's session that are going to be covered later. The Finance General Ledger Analytics Accelerator, that's currently live on the Databricks marketplace. So if you're running Oracle EBS, Fusion, SAP, NetSuite, that gives you pre-built financial reporting deployed in days instead of months. Second is they've built an AI-powered medallion architecture that takes a standard bronze, silver, gold pattern, infuses it with AI at every layer, intelligent ELT pipelines that handle the repetitive work while your finance team stays in control. And then the third, this is where also what we're going to deep dive on, is the procure to pay analytics, right? End-to-end visibility from procurement through payment, AP, aging, invoice holds, all of that built on Databricks with full governance. So I'm excited for what the Dataplatr team has put together. If you go to the next slide. So this is a screenshot of the Dataplatr assets that are available on the Databricks marketplace. If you go into your Databricks workspace, go to marketplace and search for Dataplatr, this is what you're going to find. There's a lot more to what we're going to cover today, and this covers the breadth of it.